Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff back from a long hiatus of at least 1 year. Good to see everybody here. What is up, Chip? We are here on the chain. Welcome, everybody. Man, it's good to see you, Chip. It's been way too long. It's been at least 4 days. But man, today we are going to be talking about a brand new law. Not just any law, but it's a law to set the brand new era, maybe. Now, XRP holders, if you're out there, if there's any XRP holders out there, you got to pay attention right now, because we're going to be talking about some really important things. There was a new law that was passed. We're going to tell you where it was passed, if it has any relevance whatsoever, but there are big news. And the name of that law, I'm not going to tell you, it's HR 3633.
Memorize that.
Abbreviation. Rememorize that. Rememorize.
Rememberize it. Remember it.
Not just memorize. What does this mean for the crypto industry? More importantly, what does it mean for you, the XRP holder, the Bitcoin holder, the Doge holder, and the SHIB holder? Are we finally getting regulatory clarity Ripple's been fighting for, or is this just the beginning of a new wave, Chip, of government control, government oversight? We're breaking it all down tonight. The bill, the power players behind it, what comes next for XRP, the SEC, your portfolio. And before we dive in, we're also going to talk about something going on over at BitTrue. Can't access this from the US anymore, but all you guys over there outside the US and those other countries outside the US, you know who you are. Well, that's who we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be talking about. And we also have a guest tonight that's going to come in and talk about his experience on the BitTrue.
On the BitTrue. We're also giving away a White Tribe Yeti tonight. We have got a video for you, a long, awesome video. Just put in the time. He's invested some time since he took a week and a half off. And we're ready to go. So you ready? Let's kick it off.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome everybody to On the Chain. On the Chain. Not to be confused with Off the Chain. But yeah, HR 3633, better known as the Clarity Act. And why don't we kick this off with a video? I think a video sort of tells a little bit of the story here of exactly what's going on here. This is Rep French Hill.
Reposted.
Reposted the stream. All right, very good. We like when you do that. When you guys repost the stream, brings more people in here. When you like it, it tickles the algorithm, and that's even better for us. So let's go ahead and watch this video here. This is French Hill. This is him talking about the Clarity Act. Let's go.
I rise in strong support of the Clarity Act, a landmark bill that creates much-needed regulatory framework for digital assets. This legislation is a critical step towards providing legal certainty, protecting consumers, and ensuring that the United States remains a leader in digital innovation. Digital asset technology is evolving rapidly and holds enormous potential. However, its growth in the United States is being constrained by a fundamental problem, that this committee has grappled with for the better part of 4
And that's to all the Democrats. No, that's not what he's going to say. That's not what he's going to say here.
years.
He should.
The absence of clear and consistent rules and regulations governing its use and development.
I hate to say it's like 7 years.
But how do you think this is all landed on Gary Gensler? Like him sitting back after all that bull crap we went through for 4 years, and now this thing's finally going through. How do you think he's reacting to that? This is interesting.
This uncertainty not only slows innovation, but it also puts consumers and investors at greater risk. At the heart of the issue is the lack of a clear definition of when is a digital asset considered a security under the oversight of the Securities and Exchange Commission, or a non-security or digital commodity under the authority of the Commodities Future Trading Commission, the CFTC. Neither agency currently has full jurisdiction over the spot market transactions, which represent the majority of activity in this space. The spot market gap has created a regulatory void where intermediaries operate without clear rules or protections. Rather than offering clarity through formal guidance or rulemaking, the Biden administration, through the SEC and then chairman, Gary Gensler, pursued instead a strategy of regulation by enforcement. asserting that you just had to come in and register as someone trying to innovate in this space. This reactive approach left developers and investors uncertain about compliance, pushed innovation offshore, and failed to provide meaningful protection to the public. In contrast, other countries have moved swiftly to create clear regulatory structures for digital assets and are quickly becoming global centers for this financial technology. Without decisive action, the United States risks falling behind. In the 118th Congress, we laid the foundation by advancing bipartisan digital asset legislation through the House with a vote of 279 to 136, with the support of 71 Democrats. Today, we continue that important work through the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act improves transparency by requiring developers to disclose essential information about their projects. It holds customer-facing digital asset firms, like brokers or dealers, to high standards by requiring them to safeguard customer funds, provide adequate and accurate disclosures, among many other requirements. It supports innovation by establishing clear processes for projects to raise capital under the SEC and for digital commodities to be traded through intermediaries regulated by.
I like that, digital commodities. Very different language than what Gary Gensler called it. Remember, he called it a digital asset security.
Digital asset security.
Digital commodity.
The CFTC. More importantly, the Clarity Act brings much needed certainty by clearly defining the roles of the SEC and CFTC and creating a comprehensive registration structure. This gives digital asset firms the rules they need to operate legally and responsibly within the United States. I want to thank Chairman G.T. Thompson of the House Agriculture Committee, Whip Tom Emmer, Subcommittee Chairs Brian Stile and Dusty Johnson.
Yeah. We get it. We understand. But it's an important step forward, Jeff. We don't have to go through the whole thing. We've workshopped this entire thing before, but it is a good day. A good day in America here.
I just want to put things into perspective for all those people out there that don't realize how long we've been fighting.
Forever and a day.
Token Taxonomy Act, HR 7356, first introduced to Congress in
2017?
2018 Congress, 115th Congress. Put that into perspective. So you think about 2017, we're talking about almost 7-8 years ago. That was the first introduction of a digital asset. So it was introduced to the House December 20th, which that date goes down into infamy, right? The infamous date, December 20th of 2021, 2020. So, we all know what happened on that date, but 2020, 2018, first introduced to the House. It was broken away over to the Financial Services Committee 7-8 years later. 7-8 years later, they're now actually passing a Clarity Act that has somewhat of the framework of, some of the components of the idea of what the Token Taxonomy Act represented. They're talking about kind of a division of powers between the SEC and the CFTC. However, the Token Taxonomy Act, if they could get that passed, we'd be in such a different place right now. It was a complete, it wasn't an overhaul of the of the different laws that were on the books. We're talking about the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, which completely excluded any commentary on modern technology, because obviously back in the 30s, there were no such thing as cryptocurrencies. And so adding some language to that, plus there was a tax code from 1986 that the Token Taxonomy Act sought to amend. So 7-8 years we've been waiting for some legislation like this to pass through the Financial Services Committee. What says you, Chip? What kind of comment does this place on the significance and importance of what we just witnessed?
Well, it'll be more significant. I mean, it was voted out of committee, which is great, but
Big butt.
But you know, we still have to still has to go through the Senate. That's the thing. So cloture was invoked. So the clock starts. The lawmakers can proceed to vote on the amendment. I'm reading a post from Ellie Terrett. This is cloture on the Haggerty Amendment. Haggerty Amendment, which made the changes to the Genius. This is the Genius Act to gain Democrat support after the cloture period ends. You know, and then the Clarity Act got voted out of committee. So you know, at least it's moving a little bit. There's at least some something happening. So I mean,
you know what they need to do, Chip, in order to get bipartisan support of the Genius Act? They have to remove the genius part of it. And you know what they need to do? The Clarity Act to get Democrat support bipartisan? Get rid of the Clarity. There you go. And then you just have the act and the act. No genius, no clarity.
Yeah, well, the Democrats are used to voting on bills that are opposite. They had that one that was supposed to kill inflation, and it inflated the inflation. So it's always the opposite of whatever the bill's named. So they're like confused. They're like, yeah, but it's supposed to be an anti-crypto bill because it says clarity. It's supposed to be an anti-genius act because it says genius. So this is kind of where they come from. But before we delay anymore, but anyway, there's some good things that are happening. It's going to take some time. It always does. But at least you got something another one coming out of committee. You got, you know, the other one moving forward. You got the Haggerty Act, which has a lot of concessions for Democrats for the genius. So we're getting there slow and sure. We'll be reporting on all of it, but I just think it's a good day just to know that you feel like it's rising support. I also think too, because all of you, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world, everybody has some sort of influence on this. And we saw this in the presidential election, how big the crypto side of the house was. It really did make an impact. 2 out of 5 in the US. So it became this important voice that a lot of people wouldn't count on. The Democrats played their cards wrong, like they always do. They're always on the wrong side of everything. But before we delay, we're going to go ahead and we have a special guest to bring in here. And let's go ahead and bring our special guest in. You have that drum roll ready, Jeff? Where's that drum roll?
Find it. Hang on.
Gotta find the drum roll.
Nope,
okay, we can play a little guitar. That's always good. Here we go. There he is. There he is. Barry.
Hello.
Where are you coming to us from today, Barry?
Well, I'm coming to you from the most beautiful Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. So
Great.
It's sunshine in here, and the sky is blue, and the beaches are white, and everything's just all right.
And it's
a couple of nights ago. And we're going to talk about that.
It was pretty rough with that bad weather rolling in and upsetting everything. And man, I saw the Paradise, was it Paradise Surfers Paradise there? That got destroyed. I mean, the whole beach got.
Yeah, look, it was quite a bizarre storm, once in a lifetime sort of deal. And that storm was so huge that it stretched far north of Gold Coast up into the Sunshine Coast, even further, all the way down into New South Wales. And the eye of that thing stalled for a couple of days, and it just beat down not only the houses, but all the beaches got washed away. Like, I've got some video I can send you. It was horrible, devastating. Man. And trees were down everywhere. So I'm talking trees that were so huge, the whole root systems, everywhere you went, there was massive trees down. So
yeah. That's how Florida was. We get hit with that stuff all the time. Those are one of those. That's like an Andrew that hit us down in 91. The weather's rigged. It's always rigged. But we had the chance to meet finally in person after knowing each other online for many years. But the three of us and a couple other folks, we jumped in your big truck and we headed down and to the beach, and we got some burgers. And I remember that. It was a good trip. It was fun.
That was a blast.
Yeah. I took you to a place called Grilled. It's an Aussie hamburger joint, classic burgers.
They're really good. That was nice.
Yeah,
we had fun.
Good.
The Queenslander. Yeah, it's a crowd pleaser, that one.
I'll tell you what.
Burgers and good beer too.
Oh yeah, Stone and Wood. There you go. That's classic Queensland.
What do you guys call it? The rum, the Bundesberg. What's it called?
What's it called? Yeah, Bundaberg rum. Yeah, that's it.
That stuff will make you nutty, dude. There's some secret ingredient in that. That's a nutty.
That's what it's called.
That's crazy.
That's why, you know, that's why you see fisticuffs break out after 2 shots of that thing, man. It's like people go nuts. You know,
They must be
That was
drinking it
kind of
in
crazy.
LA because they've got the Aussie strong stuff there. I guess they're
oh
going
no, they're
mad, aren't
taking
they?
stupid pills there, Barry, in case you're wondering. They're
Oh,
downing
okay.
stupid pills by the jar, by the, you know, they're doing shots of them. So,
By the fistful. They're just
all right,
shoving them down their
enough
throat.
catching up. Let's get to why we brought you on tonight. So there seems to be something amiss going on at BitShrew. I've heard some rumblings of this. I've seen it all over blowing up on X today. But can you kind of just tell everybody your experience and what's going on? And let's see if anybody else this has happened to.
So if anyone chimes in with some issues.
Well, listen, I really appreciate you having me on so quick. What happened was just a couple of nights ago, not last night, but the night before. And I'm probably the one that's responsible for causing some havoc. I'm surprised it did what it did, but I'm happy that it did because this is a real issue. And if I had known a few days earlier, got the wind that something had changed in BitTrue, I definitely would not have been putting my money back on there, especially my XRP. And I have not been on BitTrue for some weeks. Something in my gut said, try another exchange, which I did and was trading there quite happy. But I thought, oh, chuck some over there. I'd like to get some more of this coin because, you know, you can swap in and out with the XRP pairs. That's what BitTrue was known to do better than anyone else, is provide these XRP pairs. So it made it quite an attractive exchange to trade on. So I want to make something very clear. I've been trading on BitTrue, at least 4 years, maybe longer. No problems. And I've done hundreds of trades. I've put some pretty big money on there, which I'm pretty thankful right now. It wasn't a huge bag. It's still stung, you know.
Of course.
But I put some on there, and I tell you, it wasn't even on there 3 hours, just before midnight, maybe 10 o'clock at night. I went to bed and went, I put an order in to see it. I don't know. I went back on to see, if it caught that order. Sometimes we'll put it pretty low to see if we get a bit of a swing there, which sometimes you do. And to my surprise, my balance said 0. Okay.
Holy cow.
So, and look, it was about 2,000 XRP, all right? In today's money, that's about $7,000 AUD, all right?
Right.
Now, it's not going to destroy me. I've got a bag that can move
Doesn't matter.
10, 20, 30 grand in a day, just
your
with the right
money.
conditions.
It doesn't matter. It's your XRP, and it was taken from you.
Absolutely. So what I did is, at first I was aghast because, like, my God, what's happened? Because, it just takes the wind out of you. And I had to run out the door. I had a job I had to be at early morning. So to investigate, I'm on my phone while I'm driving. I get to the job, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm looking at the history, like, okay, I placed an order. That order got canceled. Like in the early mornings, like 1 o'clock in the morning, I was asleep. And when I found the history of a withdrawal, sure enough, there was a withdrawal. Of course, I didn't do it. And the reality is with BitTrue, they have a 3-step process to withdraw any crypto. And I've done this dozens of times. And you have to do it very quickly, because if you don't get all 3 codes in a minute, you got to start all over again. All right?
Which is good. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Absolutely. And it's foolproof, because the 3 verifications, which I'm going to explain now, is impossible for anyone to figure it out. Okay? Because you're getting 3 6-digit codes.
Did you ever receive any notifications whatsoever?
That's what I'm getting to. All right.
Gotcha.
So typically when you withdraw funds, you get an email from BitTrue, 6 digits. You have to put those 6 digits in as quickly as you put in a PIN number, which that PIN, the only place it was located was here. Wasn't on my phone, wasn't on my computer, not on a note. So you got 3 codes. One comes from BitTree, which is different every time for every transaction, every withdrawal. Put your PIN in, which is up here in my noggin. And then the third is Google Authenticator,
Right.
which my email is set up on Google Authenticator. I have a hard time getting back into my account, let alone anyone else. And my Google Authenticator is only on my phone, which it
Uh-oh,
can
you cut
only
out.
be accessed with face recognition. All right. Am I back with you?
Yep.
Yeah, but you're
Hello?
sure that, yeah, if you jumped out for a second, might have some internet issues.
Okay, I'm back now.
You're back now. But
Okay.
they didn't go ahead and SIM swap your phone, right? You didn't have any issues with your phone. So you just never, somebody inside scammed the money, sent it somewhere. Did they leave it on the exchange, or where did they move them?
Okay. So this is what I did. I straight away sent them a text through their chat messaging, explained the situation, and without too much hesitation or investigation, they simply come back to me and said, "Oh, we're so sorry. You've been hacked. Somebody has hacked your phone. They've hacked your computer and gotten into your email, and somehow they magically have read your mind." They didn't say that, of course, but that's what would have had to happen. And we're so sorry. You must, I'm not being a bit facetious, all right, because it is a
Sounds like it,
Chinese-owned
yeah.
exchange, all right. You've been hacked. Nothing we can do. Make a police report. Oh, we're just here to help. We're just here to help. And nothing we can do. We're just here to
She got
help.
hacked. She got hacked.
And so I insinuated to them, I said, look, this is an internal issue. It has to be. It's impossible. Everything I have is protected. I'm a seasoned trader. I haven't been hacked. Nobody's got access to my phone. My email's fine. And furthermore, I did not receive an email to verify a withdrawal with a 6-digit from BitTrue. I looked all through. I like, did it go to junk? Never does. Nowhere's to be found. Even submitted that to them. I said, look, I want you to provide the email you sent to me with that 6-digit code for that withdrawal. It hasn't happened yet. All right. So I went backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Finally, I got home and I was able to get on XRP scan and look exactly, take that address with the ticket, has a ticket number and the wallet number. I traced it on the XRP scan, and sure enough, somebody started a brand new wallet. Now it says it was a BitTrue wallet. Okay. Now they came back to me and said, "Oh no, this wasn't a BitTrue wallet. This was a private wallet." Well, it says BitTrue. All right.
Cool.
And they did it with the exact funds that they took, and there was only 4 transactions, and it happened. I looked at the time that wallet was
Lost you again.
created, receiving my funds, and then they sent it off to another exchange. Oh, look, I wish I could tell you what it was. If I was on my computer
Doesn't
in my
matter.
other office, I'd let you know. But needless to say, within a few minutes, they forwarded on to this other exchange, which I'm assuming that they're cashing the funds out there. Okay. And so I sent all that information. Plus, at that time, I'd already sent some pretty belligerent videos on Twitter, and I just forward them on to BitTrue. So because I explained, I went step by step. Okay, here's the wallet. This is what happened. This is when it happened, and this is where they sent my funds. I sent all that to them, but they would not even comment on the videos or the information. Actually, I sent the links
Jeez.
that each link all the way tracing to the exchange and said it did it, and they finally came back to it and said, "Oh yeah, everything you say is true, but that's not a BitTrue wallet." And I'm saying, right, okay, just like, oh, nobody touched your funds on this side. So literally, to make a long story short, I'm absolutely convinced I was not hacked. Either they got hacked, either they've got a what they call bad actor. We like to throw that they're a bad actor out there. So they've got
An
a rat,
employee.
huh?
You mean
A
talking about a BitTrue?
mole,
Yeah.
or man, they know the hell what they're doing. Okay, they would have had. Listen, they would have had a lot of complaints because after a while, I reached out to some Twitter influencers, YouTube influencers, I will not mention any names because they can do that for themselves. But one particular lady, which was gracious enough to respond very quickly to me, all I was asking her was, do you know somebody, can help me actually trace the funds and maybe possibly get it back? Because BitTrue wasn't going to help me, all right? Now, I say all this to say this. It's so hilarious because I'm posting all these tweets about this, and all I'm getting is this spam scam. Oh, this guy helped me. Contact him. And I'm like, oh no, my goodness. Like, so who do you turn to? Like, who's legit? Who isn't? So I contacted her just to see if she knew somebody, and I knew she had some contacts with BitTrue, and at some time she promoted BitTrue, which at one time everyone thought we could trust them. And lo and behold, she tells me, in my shock and awe, is that the exact same thing happened to her and her husband. They had some Ethereum on that exchange, and all of a sudden, they did get an email to say something, it was being withdrawn. And before they can even get to respond, someone completely bled their account dry. So again, they did what they.
So this has been
What's that?
Been happening for a long time. I've been getting wind of this for eons. It's like nothing new. People, this has been happening before. But so did you reach out to the exchange? Moved it to? Did you talk to them at all?
So what I did after she verified, okay, she said, "Look, I've sat on this. I've just written it off. But now that you've come out, I've watched your videos. I think we need to go ahead and do some naming and shaming." And I said, yes, I think we need to too, because nobody should get away with this. Nobody. All right. So I followed up and contacted that exchange, which I won't name it this time.
The one they moved it to.
Where they moved it to. All right. And that's as far as I could go on the ledger. All right. And they graciously, I explained the situation, sent my video clips explaining what happened. And lo and behold, I think they're based out of London, this crypto exchange. They say to me, said, look, we have a fraudulent department. And if you send us more information, we will trace those funds back to the original wallet and we will investigate for you. And I'm like,
but BitTrue won't do that. Some exchange where they drop that to is going to do it, but not BitTrue. That's bizarre that's what happened. Amazing.
That's exactly right.
So
that's
I mean,
the situation. Yeah.
I also reposted your video today on X, asking people, because trying to see, sometimes there's a lot of shame when this happens. Like you feel you did something wrong. And so there might be a lot of other people out there that just didn't know where to turn, that it happened to them, and they're just embarrassed. And it's not their fault. It's like they don't want to reach out and say, like, I lost the crypto, something happened to it. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like they feel that, hey, here's a guy who's being vocal about it and has talked and said that he's lost crypto. Then maybe some more people will step forward, because a lot of times I get DMs of people and I want to cry every time. They lost a lot, or for whatever reason, hey, this happened, then I did this, and then I panicked, and then their crypto is gone, right? So, and a lot of people, they just reach out, but they don't do it publicly. They reach out, they're trying to figure out how to do it. So when you're brave and you bring this to light, this is why I want everybody to be vigilant here. But if you guys hear of people that this has happened to, it's better if we get more people together, and it's better if we can go at this thing and say, hey, listen, this isn't an isolated case. This has happened to a ton of different people. It seems to be somebody internally, because it's real easy to say is like, this is the whole idea of the three-factor authentication.
Exactly.
The email and the time period too. Like I've had it time out before. I had to get all my crypto off there. I didn't have much on there, but I left some fragments here and there, and I was doing a little bit of trading there. And because the US are like, hey, if you don't get it off, we're taking your crypto. They were really adamant. They're like, if you leave it on past this date, you lose it. Sorry, sucker.
They're really adamant about that.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, it's like midnight tonight. So but I do want people to be very cautious. I don't know if you can trust anyone, because I'll tell you, I got a lot of DMs, not from BitTrue people, but people that have their money in Coinbase that said,
Coinbase,
hey,
it just happened, Chip.
I'm not talking about before that.
No, I know Coinbase, hit my dad. He
Oh,
lost
did they?
crypto on Coinbase.
Your dad did?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's here we are at SEC regulated exchange, and people, I know Brian Armstrong came out and publicly said, hey, you know, they wanted $20 million. We're not paying it, but we're going to make everybody whole. Well, you didn't make the people that got their stuff stolen last time. They were doing SIM swaps. You know, Jungle famously, you know, was very vocal about what happened to him. He got SIM swapped, Jungle Inc. And, you know, this is an epidemic. This is why we hear like, hey, you know, not your keys, not your crypto. But if you're actively trading at some point, you're trading on an exchange, you have something on there and you're looking to do something with it, you know, and then you wake up the next day and it's gone. That's a very big problem. It's not like you're storing all your bags in a. This is not that conversation. This is, hey, I was actively trading. I've been actively trading. I had a little bit on there and it's gone. So,
but this is also the reason that we need bigger financial institutions playing in the space. We have all these young companies that don't have the same level of security that the big financial institutions have. They're built in, even though they have antiquated computer systems internally, their overall support mechanism is vastly larger and more sophisticated than any of these exchanges. I don't care what any of these exchanges say. When the big boys come into the space, you know, whether it's JP Morgan, Fidelity, or any of those others, you know, they're going to start cold storaging, or at least managing people's crypto portfolios. That's when it's mainstream adoption. The biggest issue is that we're playing on exchanges that are providing self-insurance. And I had lots of crypto on BitTrue before they left the US. And it took me a long time to even dip my toe into working on the BitTrue platform. And Chip and I had talked about it for a long time because they were self-insured. Then the more I looked at it, I said, hey, but look what happened with Celsius. You know, that I lost a significant amount of money on the Celsius platform, you know, when that went down. And so every area you go, there's a level of risk in the space, and it's disconcerting. And this is another one, you know, so it's very disconcerting. But I was shocked to hear, you know, BitTrue, they've had a long history of no issue. But then if you have anybody on the inside and they start draining people's accounts and they start moving money around until they find them, you know, but when we know.
What happened, Jeff?
What did I do? I just moved my keyboard and I removed myself. I don't know what. I don't even know what button I hit. I just hit.
You're just gone for a week and a half. You're like, you left the show.
I don't even know how to use my computer anymore. That's how long I've been away. What is this thing? What is this?
Yeah, that's how long you've been away. So,
So,
you know, thank you for bringing it to our attention. You know, Barry, I really appreciate it. You know, we know you as Papa Bear. And what is it? Whale Hunter? What is it? Papa Bear /
Papa Bear, XRP, FLR, whale.
Yeah, the whale.
Like,
so
sounds good, doesn't it? Like I'm a whale, you know. I've got a bit of flair. Trust me. I'm very hopeful that Flair's gonna be a sleeping giant. So anyway.
No, I think so too. And then somebody was saying that they took their flair. So I think BitTrue.
Yeah, I'm looking at, as we're speaking, I'm getting DMs on my Twitter saying it happened to me. They took my crypto. So look, we're opening up a can of worms here. I mean, the reality is like you said, look, you hope that you can have a good experience, but the reality is how does they say, not your keys, not your crypto. I guarantee you in the little black letters somewheres, you know, they've got their backs covered, like, oh, if your funds go missing, you know, we're not responsible. But you know, that don't cut it, man. That don't cut it. And they say, you know, they said, well, it's impossible for you for us to been hacked because it's a 3-step. Exactly, it's impossible. So it has to be a rat or a mole inside, and it's either the big dogs know, and it makes you wonder, okay, are they about to get shut down? Are they scooping up these funds before some crap goes down? I mean, I don't know. I'm speculating. But you know, you can't do this forever, and it's not going to not get out there, because I know BitTrue, they've got their there are moles already coming in on the text conversations and people who are responding, and oh, we're so sorry, we're here to help you, la di da di. So they know this chatter is going on, and I don't know how they think they can get away with it, you know.
Barry, this
And
is simple. Here's the investigation. Did our internal system send an email? No. Was the code entered? No. You can check your internal systems and verify that an email was never sent. And if it was sent or sent someplace else, that number was never entered and nothing came in from Google Authenticator. It's a very simple proposition. So if they wanted to find out, they would discover in about 6 seconds by getting with their tech team and do it, launch an investigation. But I think that it's Mark Smithson says, thank you for spreading the info, Papa Bear. We're putting it out there because we want to make sure. I hate to see people get hurt, especially friends get hurt. People we know, it's a horrible thing. But thanks for being brave, speaking up, and putting this out there. And I want you to keep us in the loop about how this progresses, because maybe it's a class action lawsuit. Maybe enough people get together and figure out like what the next steps are, because this is not a good thing. It's tough enough people doing their everyday lives, getting their asses up, going to work, and then you come home and something you worked hard for is gone. So it's not acceptable. And
well, that's it. Somebody has to lead the charge. Look, I'm willing to do that. I don't care. Look,
well, you nominated yourself by stepping up, so you're leading that charge.
But it's wrong. You don't want to see anybody lose. You hear these horror stories, you think, oh, thank God it wasn't me, it would never happen to me. And then it does.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
And it happens.
Let me tell you something.
Shit happens.
Let me tell you this. I always say, don't poke the bear, especially don't poke Papa Bear, because you don't like him when he's mad. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So,
well,
Barry,
Papa
thanks.
Bear can be either a teddy bear or a grizzly bear. And right now, I'm the grizzly bear. Okay.
No,
come on. So I reckon we've got to get the word. Look, we can't let up with this. I would admonish you guys, since you have a platform and you've got several followers. I think this
several
would be
followers,
several thousand.
I think this would be a great subject to revisit over and over again. Even create some chat rooms around it, and look, really try to figure out how we can not only bring it to the spotlight, but name and shame. I don't care what exchange it is. If it's Bit3, if it's Coinbase, bring it all to the table. Let's put it out there. And look, there's thousands of ex-followers and crypto guys. Bitcoin, look, this is not a XRP thing. This is not a Flare thing. This is not a Bitcoin thing. We should be rallying and locking arms on this issue.
However,
and don't let it go until we know the day's coming. There's going to be more regulatory guidelines to protect people like ourselves. But until then, we've been playing this game, and it catches up to some of us after a while. Fortunately, it's not going to wreck my life, but some, $5 grand, 10 grand for someone that don't make a lot of money,
that hurts.
That's all they
it was
got me.
$50. It's your money. It's your.
Exactly right.
People can't take things that belong to you. So why don't we bring you back when you. But I would recommend this, Barry. Why don't you when maybe like later today, if you do like a really late night, it's early morning here in the US, I would do spaces. Go on spaces and put something in the thing like, has anybody lost money, had their crypto taken on Bit3, and find out who comes in. You might be surprised at who's going to join. They may not speak or ask to speak, but tell your story everywhere. The best way to spread it is on X by opening a space. If you've never done a space,
that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought I would do.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, we'll come back.
Join forces, man. Yeah.
Keep us
Appreciate
posted.
you guys.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Thanks. It was good. Yeah, man.
It's awesome seeing you and talking to you, interacting. Fortunately, under these circumstances, but sometimes the bad times bring the good times. So let's bring it to light.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on here. Especially, I know it was like a rush thing. It was super late last night. I'm like, all right, we'll do. You're like, when? I'm like, in a couple hours. But for you, it'll be the next morning. So
yeah. I was running home, so it worked out fine. So
That's
perfect.
It
was good. So
all right, Barry, take care, man.
Guys.
Great seeing you. All right, thanks, Barry.
All right.
See you soon.
Awesome, great to see Barry, man.
For some reason, the commercials are on, so I figured out how to pause them. YouTube commercial.
Why are they?
I don't know. YouTube changed the way they do some of the setups. So that's one of them. And I got to figure out how to get rid of them. I can do it. I can do it temporarily. I can keep pausing them over here, but they keep getting hit. The most important commercial, though, is about to be run right now. So let's take from this. We'll go from, the bad news of what's going on with Bitcher and some of these other exchanges. But get ready, because I've only seen a handful of Yetis going in there. This is for a Badass Yetis White Tribe.
Yeah.
So get ready for this one. This is the first version of the White Tribe video. So get ready, sit down, grab onto your seat, and enjoy the show. Here we go.
Roll it.
Ready?
When a badass Yeti from the white tribe of the clan Ashes Yetis. They don't stomp. They don't cry. 1 second, you're chilling. The next, you're fucked.
Yo, do you know the word of the day? Come on.
Come on.
You already know this.
Say it loud. Say it proud.
Mark it, tap it, tattoo it on your ass.
Miss it, bruh, sucks for you. Got your Zalman wallet locked in? Yo, what? What are you fucking about? This ain't just a drop. It's a fucking whiteout. Fast, cold, legend level. Claim your badass white tribe Yeti. If not now, if not you, then who? Then what? Badass Yeti. Claim yours or be forgotten like a damn footnote in history. Badass Yeti. On the chain.
That was headbanging that. Jeez, Jeff, there are a couple F-bombs in that version. Ain't effing about there, dude. Haha. Look at Smart Rain says, haha, you guys are crazy, those Yeti baby ads.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah, we go nuts. It's way too much fun. We're having way too much fun that adults or even kids are allowed to have, but we are having it. There's no doubt about it.
Whoever
That's
wins
right.
it.
That was great. Chad says, why do I hear Meg Ryan from Sleepless in Seattle right now? I don't know. Why do you? Badass. Boom, 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 boom. That's a little catchy, man.
I don't like that one.
I'm getting a Yeti ass tattoo. Mark Smithson's called it right there. Right there, for sure.
It took me a while to figure that, to put that one in there.
Yeah, Black Voice is chilling the white tribe. Of course, dude. Yeah, that was great. It was like, I was like, boom. By the way, John, that was cranked up like on 11. That was like, I had to turn my volume down.
That one was loud.
Why was that so freaking loud, man? Nice work, Jeff the Maestro. Yeah.
Yeti assless chaps.
Great movie. Fans. They're getting longer. How long was that one? That was 2 minutes and
that was 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That was a little long.
Next thing you know, we'll just play it, and like half the show will be a Yeti video, and the other half
will be just a Yeti Yeti
Holy
video.
cow, that was something, man.
I like it.
That
Just
was
the
a
way it
lot.
starts out. It was so weird. I went through so many renditions of it. And then when that one came out, I'm like, this one's insane. This one.
That was so out of
It kept changing my lyrics too. Because I started out with it's a fucking whiteout. And that was like the only one I put in there. And it kept removing it.
Oh,
Every time
really?
I was
Yeah,
trying to
'cause
like
the
clean
line-
it up and fine tuning it. And then it put an asterisk in it. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's not like,
How does it
screw this.
pronounce the asterisk?
It didn't.
Asterisk.
Yes.
The hell?
It was so funny.
You know our favorite guest and our favorite boy Panos, the truth seller.
Yep.
So he was actually there's him. So Apex is going on right now. So there's Panos with Brad Garlinghouse.
Nice.
God, every time I see Brad Garlinghouse, he looks about 8 years older, 10 years older. Like this crypto thing, it really messed with him, man. But there he is. Panos got the hangout. Dr. Sean, remember Sean George, who we got that meet and hang out with there too. He posted some videos, which I'll go ahead and throw some videos up. So I was like really happy. And Jeff, this is always the true test. When somebody shoots a horizontal video, it's not shaking all over the place on the sky, on the ceiling, and all that stuff, and it's stable, and you can actually see what's going on. I'm like, okay, you're a friend. If you're gonna shoot soccer mom videos, hell, you are not. We're gonna brawl. We're gonna go to fisticuffs, man. We are not gonna be pals. It is not going down. Let me go ahead and pull some of those videos up. Where is the? Here it is, right here. Here's Flair Hugo Filion announcement here.
Strategic partnership between Vivo Power and Flair to deploy $100 million in XRP for institutional yield generation.
Yeah, so he's talking about the Vivo Power announcement of $100 million that's going to be deployed on Flare, 100 million USD for yield, which is incredible. Now look at how beautifully this video is shot. Now the sound could be a little louder. I could have boosted it, but I did not. I should have boosted the sound a little bit. But this is like quality video right here.
This is a major milestone, not just for Vivo Power, but for the broader XRP ecosystem. It marks the first major execution of Vivo Power's new corporate strategy and a powerful signal that XRP can play a central role in institutional treasury management. At the heart of this partnership is Flair's F-Asset system. It's a non-custodial protocol that allows XRP to be used in smart contract applications without compromising its native security. And this deployment is the first institutional scale validation of that. In many ways, it establishes Flare as this essential programmable utility layer for the XRP ecosystem. What makes this strategy especially powerful is that it's regenerative. Vivo Power will generate yield through protocols on Flare, like Firelight, and then reinvest that yield back into XRP. This creates a perpetually compounding, capital-efficient approach to managing treasury assets. Well, why Flare? Vivo Power did not take this decision lightly. It came after a rigorous evaluation of Flare's infrastructure that's been built specifically to meet institutional-grade standards for security, compliance, and performance. And it's not just about one protocol. Flare's broader DeFi ecosystem is ready for institutional scale. The launch of the USDT Zero stablecoin, for example, brought in over $90 million in new total value locked. Clear proof that the network can attract deep liquidity and real usage. To be clear, Flare is not a replacement for the XRP ledger. Instead, it complements it, extending XRP's utility into compliant, programmable, yield-generating finance. If you're an institution exploring how to bring digital assets like XRP into your treasury or yield strategy, we'd love to talk. I'll be around after this session. Come find me or a member of the Flare team, and let's explore what's possible together.
Beautiful. Unfortunately, this guy's head became the focal point, and then it blurred because it focused on this dude's head right here. But thank you, Dr. Sean George. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking that video and all the stuff that you. He took one of his pens. He's custom made pens, and he made one for Schwartz and also for Garlinghouse.
I like Sean.
Yeah, he's great. I will tell you, Jeff, if you want to see one of the most moving documentaries you've ever seen in your entire life, watch his documentary. my wife and I watched it and it just moved to, man, this is a man that should not be living. This is a man who clinically is a walk-in miracle. And I'll have to get his, I'll have to share that link, but I got to tell you, man, his story is it's too hard to believe. It's it's stranger than fiction. Somebody that doesn't start, that has a heart attack and stops breathing for over an hour, does not return without massive brain damage. Yeah. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing story of faith, of hope, of just, I mean, amazing, just, you know, a phenomenal story. I was really moved watching it. My wife, she loved it too, and she's like, "Wow," she goes, "I didn't know this was going to be so intense. This video. It's not even that long, really, but it's a really good account. He narrates it. You see him, the doctors, his family, and nobody can explain exactly what happened. And he's a cool dude. So it was really phenomenal. I'll see if I can do that. I'll pull him up and let me pull him up on my on the screen here, and I'll show you. Let's see, Dr. Sean here. Yeah, here he is. There he is. There he is right there. So let me go ahead and share this. Probably should hit the right buttons when I'm doing this stuff, but here he is. So let's go ahead and share this. But we got pictures together too. But there's Dr. Sean on the right hand side right there. And who is that? Who's he with? That's Vet right there. That's Vet from XRP Cafe. There's the after party at night, and there he is again hanging out. So there he is. He's got pictures with everybody, man, everybody. But he's on the right hand side right there. And there's the video he shot earlier. I was trying to find. There he is with Hugo and Monica. And she's got pictures of everybody.
Right, he's everywhere.
Of course, that's Jazzy Coop right there from she runs European from Ripple as well.
Right.
So and there he is right there with David Schwartz. He gave him one of his custom pens. You can see it right there in his hand.
Man, he made it everywhere. Very cool.
Oh, there he is right there. Yeah. There's Daz, and there's I can't think of it. I know that's it goes by our side, but it's
I remember. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
But we hung out with these guys too.
Yeah, we did hang out with them too.
There's Panos, and of course there's more Monica Long and great stuff. And there he is with Brad Garlinghouse right there.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. So there you have it. I'm gonna go find his
oh, look who's here. Rob McDermott.
Rob McDermott in the house.
Look at that badass. Look at that badass Yeti. Look at that elder avatar in his profile. That's a beautiful elder. Rob attended the last 2 Apex events. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, here it is. I found it. Here it is right here. Let's see. Hang on.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I don't think there's any copyright violations, but let me just play a little bit of it. But this will set it up. Share the screen. Let's do that. Here we go.
You know the name of that documentary, by the way?
Yeah, I have it right here. I'll give it to you in a second.
Sean George. My name is Dr. Sean George. And in 2008, I died.
Dr. Sean was a highly qualified general physician who tragically had a sudden cardiac arrest.
It was like a scene from a movie. There was a huge amount of tension and a corpse.
Seeing that body was very, very hard.
When someone's clinically dead, all it takes is 20 minutes for the brain to irreversibly die.
He was clinically dead for well over an hour.
I announced to the room that Sean was dead.
I thought I have lost my best friend.
She knelt by the bed and prayed.
God, I need a miracle.
It's an extraordinary story.
I have never heard of that happening.
It's unbelievable.
Absolutely couldn't believe it.
I've never seen this before in my life.
No one's ever heard a story anything like it.
There's not just conjecture, there is proof. Sean was dead.
There you go.
Unreal.
Very,
man.
very gripping and very moving. It's on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link in there. But if you haven't guessed, he's Australian. He lives on the West Coast. And let me go ahead and
meet him when we were out there. Really cool. Hang out with
him. Yeah, I had no idea. I remember when this came out, so I just threw that in there right there. But it's called Doctor died for 85 minutes. Then his wife prayed. But this right here has had 1.6 million views. Jeff, came out just 2 months ago. So it is it's a very moving documentary. I don't even really like that. I wouldn't even say it's a documentary. It's kind of like a reenactment type of a thing. Now, here's what's weird about the doctors you saw. Those are his colleagues. Those were his friends. His friends that he works with had to, basically go through and witness that. So this isn't like they're trying to save some random dude. This was their doctor colleagues. So it's a pretty moving story. So pretty awesome. So go ahead, guys. I really recommend it. Go ahead and grab the link, save it, and watch it later. But it's a good. How long is it? It's only 45 minutes long. It's not long. It's a pretty easy watch. There's no commercial. Well, you might get some commercials for YouTube, but it's great. It's called Miracle Man. And there you have it. Finally made it to class. You've been busy.
Man. It's been very.
We've been all right. We've been good. Yeah, we've been all right. We've been all right. We've been doing our thing. Doing a thing. We've been doing some things. We've been doing a couple things.
Doing a couple things here and there. Chip, how many Yetis do we have?
We only have 14 for the drawing, which is really weird.
What?
Jeff, these things that are tearing up the internet. Everybody's taking like these clips and they're making baby versions of it. These two right here have to be my two favorites. But they took it from Senator Kennedy, and they did a baby version of him, and it's just funny watching those words come out about baby Kennedy. Here we are. I'm going to play two of them right now.
To be an astrophysicist to figure it out.
God.
We've got a wolf problem in Los Angeles. They're not peaceful protesters. They're wolves. They're hurting people. They're destroying property. So you say, well, where's the governor? Well, the governor is a sheep. He'll tell you, I'm a sheep. He's a sheep in sheep's clothing. He thinks cops are a bigger problem than criminals. So then you say, well, where's the mayor of Los Angeles? Maybe she can stop it. Well, she's a sheep too. More sheep is not going to solve the wolf problem. So the federal government sent in troops, and we're stopping the wolf problem.
Stopping the wolf, sheep and wolves, Jeff. Here's another one right here.
I've got a lot of friends who are Democrats, and they haven't asked me for advice, but if I did, I'd tell them, look, you just got to try harder not to suck. I mean, think about it. Over the past 4 years, the Democrats mismanaged Congress. They mismanaged COVID. They mismanaged the economy. They mismanaged inflation. They mismanaged the national debt. They mismanaged Afghanistan. The party is controlled right now by people who majored in online activism with a minor in puberty blockers. I know these people. They think men can breastfeed. They're triggered by race. They cry if you use the wrong pronoun. And most fair-minded Americans look at this and they go, these people are about 10 exits past normal. And that's what's killing the Democrats right now.
Oh, God.
Well, they're 10 exits past normal. They're a few short of a happy meal.
We have to use that. 10 exits past normal. Oh, you got to love that, man. How's that, guys? You all right? He's about 10 exits past normal. So you'd say he's 10 exits. Geez, I would think 1 or 2 would be rough, but 10 exits, it's got to be a nut job. That sounds like some kind of a nutter at that point right there.
Oh, my God.
So
what do we have in geopolitics? What do we got?
Well, I've got some more stuff to play. So we have Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. Yes. So he came up against two unhinged Democrats, right? Are you shocked, Jeff? There's no shock there, right?
That they're Democrats?
Well, they're just no. I mean, the fact that your video just went out again. Your video's out. No, your video. All kinds of weird stuff's going on today. So here's the first one.
Incorrect. Excuse me. Let me get something straight with you first.
If I can fix it, I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Okay.
So get something straight with you here.
She wants to get something straight. The best part of this is when he's sitting there the whole time cleaning his glasses. I'm sorry, we're talking? This is great. Scott Bassett, I love this dude, man. He's so amazing.
I've seen you interrupt everyone. When you come.
Oh, that's nice. A different one.
Critics of the press.
Jeez, I can't even find the right one. Let me see. Let's start with this one here.
You respect their rules. And in this house, we don't interrupt individuals. And you're not going to interrupt my time. I'm going to give you time to respond. You may want to jot down some notes about things that you don't agree with me on so that you can respond to them at that time. But while I'm speaking, as the person holding this time, you will refrain from speaking, sir, until I am done. Until I am done, and then I will give you time to speak, okay?
Look forward to the facts.
Thank you.
I look forward to the facts. Listen to this one.
Efforts to modernize the IRS warned that the effort would result in a 10% shortfall in receipts. Instead, the opposite happened. April receipts this year were up 9.5% over the previous year, and receipts in May were up 14.7% over the previous year. Most remarkably, the president was able to achieve these results while reducing $2 billion in waste and planned IT spending at the IRS.
So he's laying the real facts out there, but here's another exchange.
We've already seen that prices are rising on many.
Democrats saying prices are rising. He just gave a whole speech about how things have been taken down, how the inflation's been cut, how prices have been cut. They just sit there and talk, and this is my time. So they want to just talk and give bullshit answers like she's going to give here.
In fact, we've already seen that prices are rising on many everyday goods.
Congresswoman,
please don't interrupt me. The time is mine. The time is mine. Please don't interrupt me. I will ask you questions and I will grant you an opportunity to answer them, but please don't interrupt me during my time. Okay, I know I'm a woman, but please try to limit me during my time. Okay, I know I'm a woman, but please try to limit yourself to answering my questions. No, I'm sorry, but we get talked over all the time, and I don't want that to happen at this hearing.
She played the woman card. Yeah. Woman. Yeah. Well, Scott Bassett could have said, like, well, I'm a gay man, so I trump your woman. So go.
Opportunity to answer them, but please don't interrupt me during my time.
With pleasure.
Okay, I know I'm a woman, but please try to limit yourself to answering my questions.
The best part is, oh, come on. You hear people going, oh, come on. Jeff, they were having no part of that whatsoever. They're like, no, we're not buying. You're selling the BS. We're not buying it. Sorry. Don't be peddling your garbage over here, man. We ain't going for it.
We're not buying that crap. Here's what she was saying when she left the hall.
She wishes she had some margaritas. Jeff, you want to see? Want to see the kind of tough people MAGA's up against? This is what we're up against right here, Jeff.
Yeah.
Initiate Aaron. Approach.
This is what we're up against. This is the black here. This is the mental illness we're up against.
Neil.
Oh my God.
What happened? Did you take it out of there? Hang on.
No.
By the right of council, by the will of the force, I name you Jedi Apprentice. Rise and speak your name.
Rilo Storm Chaser.
Rilo Storm Chaser!
Woo!
All right.
Jeff, what's going on? What's wrong with these people? Rilo Storm Chaser, rise. I mean, he's making him a Jedi. You know that's a movie, right? You know that's not real, right? They do know that. Do you think they?
Apparently not. I don't know what's
think
going
that? Look at this. Rob says this is abuse. Jeff and Chip are abusing their audience playing this crap. This is the best part. Best part is how it's affecting you, Rob. That's how we roll. We like to make sure that as long as you are having a bunch of fun, then it's all good, you know.
That's right.
But anyway, so we talked a little bit about what's happening over there, and before we go there, I want to say that Brad Garlinghouse gave an unusual shout out today that was somewhat surprising. Nobody expected this, but one of the projects got a surprise shout out. This is Brad Garlinghouse talking about meme coins on stage, and nobody thought this was coming out. Well, listen to this.
Go.
Never purchased a meme coin.
Okay.
Ever.
Maybe today's the day. And Monica, do you have?
If I did buy one, I'd buy the all the money XRP meme coin.
Do you have?
If I did buy one, I'd buy the all the money XRP meme coin. All the money XRP meme coin. All the money XRP meme coin.
There you go. Wow.
Well, now you have to.
Now I have to.
Okay, so you have a homework assignment.
So if you guys don't know, Dirk, the man who's behind the project Expector, started it for some fun, but then he started going out and getting collaboration from other projects and turned it into something pretty cool. And that thing was up like, I want to say, I thought it was up like 968% today because of that shout out on stage. So yeah, congrats to Dirk. And it was really great that he threw that in there. He didn't have to name one. He just said, I've never bought one. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's the one that he's going to buy. It's pretty sweet.
He bought it yet because he felt like he kind of had to. He kind of outed himself. So
all the money.
All the money. All the money. All the money.
All the money.
The money. ATM. ATM is all the money. So here we go with
the money.
So what you know the Marines are in LA. So who are these particular Marines? Well, let's take a look.
Our dogs just arrived in Los Angeles. And just in case you don't know who that is, let me catch you up. They are the 27th, or the 2nd Battalion and the 7th Marines, also known as the legendary War Dogs. And now their boots are on the ground in Los Angeles. These are not weekend warriors. These are not people that you find on Craigslist. These are battle-hardened, war-forged Marines, trained in the fires of Fallujah, Sangin, and Helmand. They have faced ISIS, Taliban, and insurgents with nothing but grit, God, and a rifle. They don't flinch. They don't blink. They don't negotiate. If you really think that rioting, looting, and tearing down cities is just a game, you're about to meet the real definition of law and order. These men eat chaos for breakfast, and they bring law and order with a steel jaw. The streets of LA are about to feel what it's like when warriors walk the streets with civilians. Not to oppress, but to restore the order that all of these rioters and looters have been causing. And this is the clear message that the military is going to send. If you're looking to cause trouble, you just invited a battalion full of it. The war dogs are here, and the barking is over. And order is going to be handled in a way that you never saw coming. Thank you, men, for your service. Consider hitting that follow button for your daily.
There you go. So another commercial, Jeff. This is getting out of hand. I hate when they make these updates, and we don't even know about it.
They keep trying to freeze it. But it only allows me to pause it for 10 minutes. That's how
we got to figure out how to turn that off during a live stream. Like, why would you have commercials in a live stream?
I have to do it from the back end. You have to go into the settings when we set it up. So I'll go into it.
Unless we make a lot of money, then we'll turn them on. Like, we'll make them more frequent.
No, that one's on all the time. All right.
Watch them.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like get this windfall. Be like,
we made 67
on all
cents.
the time.
Turn them on. Turn them on. We want more commercials. No, we don't want commercials, man. We especially don't want you turning them on. We got to hear from the audience that this is going on. This is not good. This is not good. Dude, what's going on? Panthers 5?
They're not playing tonight. Play tomorrow night.
Like, what do you mean? I was like, it's that Thursday. What are you talking about? Yeah, that was a great game.
They crushed them 6-1.
It was an embarrassing. This was embarrassment, dude.
6-1. But that was after on the tail of the 5-2 victory when they were in. No, it's double overtime. What am I talking about? That second one.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was crazy. Was the double overtime the one they lost? Now I'm losing my mind. Let me think. Which one was? Oh no, yeah, they lost in double overtime, right? Or
that was the first game, right?
Overtime? That was the first game.
First game, yeah.
The first game was double overtime.
Then they won the second one, and now they're probably going to win tomorrow night.
And they came home and they crushed the third one, and now tomorrow night, let's go. Come on. You win 6-1.
Some of the Chicano games put out some videos and warnings telling the riders to stay the hell out of their neighborhoods. I'm sure they mean business as well.
That's right.
Listen, man, if you F around, you're going to find out. It's not going to be good, but we only have 16 guys. Can we get at least a 20 to a white tribe member? Come on, man. You're 1 in 16 chance. Get it up to 20. Let's go. We gotta do a drawing here, and you got This is horrible. 16? I don't know what's going on. Here's on CNN, and they apparently didn't like what he had to say, which is happening.
There's news in America every single day. There are children that cry when their mom or dad, who's an American citizen that breaks the law, gets arrested and goes to jail. I have watched it, and there's no rioting and looting over that because we understand that we're either a country of laws or we are not a country of laws. Every day we send moms and dads who are American citizens to prison, and we separate them from their families. And you know why we don't feel sorry for them? Because we judge them on the law, and we say if you break the law in America, we put you in jail. So why is it different for illegal immigrants?
See that? Let's go to the next one. Inconvenient truth there, Jeff. We have 17. This is pathetic, guys. I'm
17.
So bad.
17. Man, well.
So bad, man. Yeah, it's called justice. That's right. Nobody complains about that.
Well, if we don't have enough in the pool, we've only got 20, or we've only got 14, then that means we gotta run this thing again. 17. We're gonna roll this until we get 3 more.
Come on, guys.
Here we go. Let's roll this.
When a badass Yeti from the white tribe of the clan Ashes, Yetis, they don't stomp, they don't cry. 1 second, you're chilling. The next, you're fucked.
Yo, do you know the word of the day? Come on.
Come on.
You already know this.
Say it loud. Say it proud.
Mark it, tap it, tattoo it on your ass.
Miss it, bruh, sucks for you. Got your Zaman wallet locked in? Yo, what? Why you fucking about? This ain't just a drop, it's a fucking whiteout. Tribe Yeti. If not now, if not you, then who? Then what? Badass Yeti. Claim yours or be forgotten like a damn footnote in history. Badass Yeti. On the chain.
Yeah, on the chain. Yeah, on the chain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have a good chance to win one tonight. Rob says he's here for it. We have 17 when we're going, guys. We're going with 17. So get you Zaman wallet ready. Here we go for the Yeti. Ready?
Here we go. How many do we get?
Guys.
That's it. 17, man.
I'm pulling. I can't believe it.
All
Here
right.
we go. Ready?
Let's do it. That's it. That's how it goes.
Tick, 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 tick. Well, you don't have the song ready, dude. What the hell?
Oh, come on. You pulled it too quick.
Come on, man. Let's see what we got. Who's it going to be?
Oh, I didn't.
Mark Smithson wins. Whoa.
Mark Smithson. Nice.
Typing no rig tonight. Smithson will not be typing rig tonight. You know Smithson is here. You know John Saxon is in the house. And his name is Mark Smithson.
Mark Smithson.
Yeah, Smithson, where are you, dude? Don't be getting your wallet. How about you get your wallet? Don't get it bag early.
Rigged.
Rigged. I knew it just did.
Oh, look at that. Play it forward to Art on the Lake.
Holy cow, man. Art, get your wallet ready, dude.
Art on the Lake with his Zaman wallet.
That's a nice way to say I don't have my Zaman wallet ready. That's nice.
As I said through two times of the song that took 2
minutes. Art on the lake here, dude. Art, are you here?
Art is on the lake.
I know he's on the lake right now. That's why. Art, he's saying, Art, dude, you can't say it's rigged. You just got one, and the best way ever. Art, you just got one on the best way ever. Art, go ahead, get yours on the wallet.
Just forwarded it to you.
Mark just gifted you the Yeti, the White Tribe Yeti. So go ahead and please. Oh, he's getting an ass tat. That's what's going on right now. Mark's getting the Yeti ass tat. Yeah, good observation, Rob. That's awesome. We know you're here, dude. You got your Zaman wallet? Get your Zaman wallet, my man.
Not only is Art on the Lake here, he's also #1 in the chat. Look at that.
Oh, man. #1. Man. Nice job, Mark Smithson. Paying it forward. Give it to Art on the Lake.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I got it. Hang on.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't see it in here. Yeah, so perfect.
I got it.
Thanks for the heads up there, Rob.
Now, bring him over here. So, by the way, let me stop this music for me.
The tramp stamp. Oh, there it is right there.
Yep.
Tramp stamp.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
All right, we're all set, guys. This is great.
So here we go. So let me
while you're doing that, Jeff, I'm going to play this video. This is a
I was just
Mexican.
bring this up real quick. Hang on. Just so everybody sees it in the flesh.
Which one is
the
it?
real. Oh, seriously? Did it just say verifying you're human?
Yeah. Let's got to do the scan
really
first.
do that?
Click on the little box there. Oh, no, it's automatically going. There you go. You're done.
I don't have to do anything. I was already in
You're
there.
done. You're good. You're all good.
I've been in there. There it is. So just so you wanted to see, this is the badass Ash Yeti of the White Tribe. Look how badass it is. You got some of the lava going off his fur.
Dirty little ashy creatures. Got ash everywhere. Fire burning behind them there. They're a little different from the fire Yetis. They can't throw or make fire, but they sure as hell don't burn. They just get that ashy color. So.
Yeah. These guys are cute and cuddly.
Until they're not. And then it's,
until they're not. And then it's too late. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I like those guys. Then,
Jeff, good question here. What would you do if you saw a Yeti tramp stamp? I'd be running. I'd be like scared. Chances of me running into one would be very, very, what do you call it? Rare these days, but very nice. Says Mike. Very nice. Very nice.
I got to go get my phone so then so I can transfer right back.
From the Blue Tribe.
Blue Tribe. He very might well.
It could be. You never know, man. There's probably some spies infiltrating. Yeah, that's a good point. You never know. But while we do that, we're waiting. I'm going to play this Mexican American. Has something to say about the riots. He puts his 2 cents in. Let's see what he has. Get this straight.
Just so I could clarify it. You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it with pride. You're waving it in the United States, the country you're trying to stay in, the country you don't want to leave. But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay. That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all? None of that's stupid. All right. You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better.
I like that. Short and sweet, Jeff.
Better. Here we go. Boom.
Joyce Wallace says, do better.
Getting ready to transfer this bad boy over to Art on the Lake. Art on the Lake. It's going to be the proud owner of a badass Yeti of the White Tribe.
Badass Yeti.
Right about now. That's it. submitted successfully. You can now claim your badass Yeti.
Viva Trump, son of a Yeti.
Thank you, Mark Smithson, for paying it forward and giving it to Art on the Lake.
He's on the lake right now. He's always on the lake as we speak.
Always on the lake. I've never known Art not to be on the lake. Art is always on the lake.
Except when we hung out with him, met him in person. He wasn't on the lake when we were down in Florida. I mean, up there in, what was that called? The Palm Coast. What do we call it? No, the Space Coast. When we were up there at the.
Then he was close to the lake, but then it was more close to the ocean.
He had a little lake in his display table. It was a little mine in the middle because he was still Art on the lake. He put his hand out, he can still be on the lake. See how that works?
Oh, now I gotta find the
So let's do this, man. So I guess we're out of here. We'll be back on Saturday morning. Is that right, Jeff?
Is it Wednesday? Wow.
It is Wednesday. What day is today? Today is Wednesday. Yeah, and check on the Wednesday. Well, guys, Mark, that was awful nice of you to give Art on the Lake a shot at a Yeti.
Yeah. There it is. There's the White Tribe. I'm trying to record this, and I didn't.
We were at 26,000. We flew back to 25. We just keep losing now. We're on a losing streak, which is why we say, guys, please hit the like. Try to make it look like people actually watch this, and it's not just bots. Now we got these.
People love the show. That's the best part about it.
Cape Canaveral.
We love doing the show.
Couldn't think of Cape Canaveral. How do you not think of Cape Canaveral? I was thinking of the Quantum Summit. Yeah, Cape Canaveral. That's right. We were up there. At
Quantum Summit. So much fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a good weekend. All right, people. That's it.
Again.
That's it. That's the end. Go home. Go to sleep.
Sit.
Go up. I think.
By the way, the last time we gave away Badass Yeti's White Tribe was February 23rd.
This is rare. It's a rare occasion. I have a feeling we're giving a lot more white ones away. We have a bunch.
We have a bunch to give away, and then now we got some new video. But the last person to win was Jim D, by the way.
Oh, how about that for the White Tribe? No kidding. Jim D wasn't even here today. He didn't even show up late or anything.
No,
unless he's lurking in the back. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Jeez, we'll see you guys on Saturday. We're all discombobbled over here, Jeff. We'll see you guys on Saturday. You guys come back to the show. Think about it. We'll be giving away another Yeti. It's going to be very exciting. So that's all we have for you guys tonight. Jeff, anything before we get out of here?
And just big shout out to Art on the Lake again. Glad that you won a Badass Yetis. Make sure you claim it over. And, make sure you claim it. Thank you, Mark Smithson, for giving it to you and paying it forward. But Art on the Lake, make sure you claim it. Make sure you go to xrp.cafe, connect up your Zaman wallet, or there's a way to claim it right through the Zaman wallet, but make sure you claim it so it disappears out of our wallet. That would be very cool.
That's right. That is correct, sir.
Holding it, and then it'll be yours, all yours.
Yes, correct.
Yours.
And that's all we have. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff. Ow!
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.